My name is John Harper, and at 68, I thought I faced the worst life could throw at me. 30 years as a firefighter in Boise, Idaho, taught me to run toward danger, not away. I'd pulled families from burning homes, buried my wife, Sarah, after cancer took her, and raised my son, Ethan, alone. But nothing, not the flames, not the grief, prepared me for the betrayal of my own blood. My son and his wife, Mia, used my $40,000 in savings to fund a lavish funeral for her father, excluding me with a smug, only VIPs were there. When they demanded more for their dream house, I fought back with a hidden camera and an email that turned their greed into a viral exposé. This is how I reclaimed my life. It all started 5 years ago, when Ethan, my only son, now 35, and his wife, Mia, moved back to Boise after a failed business venture in Seattle. They were broke, living in a cramped apartment, and I couldn't stand seeing my boy struggle. Sarah's death 10 years earlier had left me with a modest $50,000 inheritance and my firefighter's pension, $3,200 a month, enough to live quietly in my 2-bedroom ranch house on the edge of town, where the Boise River glints under the Idaho sun. Ethan called one evening, voice shaky. "Dad, we're drowning. The rent's $600 a month, and we can't cover it. Can you help us out, just for a bit?" Mia chimed in, her voice sweet as honey. "John, you're our rock. We'll pay you back." I trusted them. Ethan was my kid, the boy I taught to cast a fly rod in the Snake River, who'd cried in my arms at Sarah's funeral. So I started sending $600 a month for their rent. Then $1,200 for a couch and dining set when they complained their place was empty. Another $800 for car repairs. $500 for Mia's medical bills. Later I saw her flaunting new boots on Instagram. My ledger, a habit from tracking station supplies, tallied at $10,000 that first year. I cut my own expenses, no new fishing gear, no trips to the mountains, just beans and rice to keep my budget tight. Year 2, it got worse. Mia's side hustle selling yoga gear online tanked, and Ethan's construction job barely paid. "Dad, we need groceries," he'd say. I'd drive over with $200 worth of food, steaks, fresh produce, the good stuff. They'd thank me, but Mia's hugs felt rehearsed, her eyes always on her phone. By year 3, I'd given $25,000 total: rent, furniture, emergencies. My savings dipped to $40,000, my dream of a fishing cabin on the Payette River fading. But I told myself it was worth it. Family's everything, right? The real knife came in year 4, when Mia's father, Richard, died of a heart attack. I liked Richard, a gruff auto mechanic who'd shared beers with me at Ethan's wedding. When Mia called, sobbing, I offered $10,000 for the funeral. "It's what family does," I said, wiring the money from my savings. I assumed I'd be there, standing with Ethan, honoring a man we both respected. The funeral was set for a Saturday. I ironed my best suit, the one I'd worn to Sarah's service, and waited for Ethan to call with details. Friday night, I texted, "What time's the service? Need me to bring anything?" No reply. Saturday morning, I called. Voicemail. By evening, worried, I drove to their apartment. Ethan answered, looking sheepish. Mia stood behind him, arms crossed, a strange smile on her face. "Dad, it was yesterday," Ethan mumbled. "Small thing, just close family." "Close family?" I repeated, my voice hollow. "I paid for it." Mia stepped forward, her smile chilling. "Only VIPs were there, John. It was intimate." VIPs. The word hit like a sledgehammer. I'd given them $35,000 over 3 years, $600 monthly rent for 36 months, $21,600, $5,000 in furniture, $3,400 in groceries, $5,000 in loans they never repaid. Another $10,000 for a funeral I wasn't invited to. I stood in their living room, surrounded by the furniture I'd bought, feeling like a stranger in my son's life. That night, I scrolled through Mia's Instagram. Photos from the funeral, a grand church service, Mia's family in designer suits, a catered reception with champagne toasts. Her mother's caption, honoring Dad with only the VIPs. My name wasn't mentioned. I wasn't in a single frame. The $10,000 I'd sent? It paid for their black tie affair while I sat home, ironing a suit for nothing. For a week, I was numb. I'd sacrificed my retirement, eaten cheap meals, skipped doctor visits to save money for them. And for what? To be excluded, dismissed as not a VIP. My ledger stared back at me, $45,000 total now, including the funeral. Money I'd pulled from Sarah's inheritance, from my pension, from years of 24-hour shifts at the fire station. All for a son who couldn't look me in the eye. Then Mia called, her voice syrupy again. "John, we're in a bind. The landlord's raising rent to $800, and we're short for a down payment on a house, $5,000. You've always helped us. Can you send it today?" I stared at the phone, her words echoing, "Only VIPs." Something snapped. Not anger, but clarity. "Mia," I said, calm as a still lake, "I only help VIPs." Silence. Then, stuttering, "What?" "John, we're family. We need you." "You needed me at the funeral," I said. "But I wasn't a VIP. Find another bank." I hung up. Ethan called next, voice panicked. "Dad, what's wrong with you? We're getting evicted. You can't just cut us off." "I can," I said. And I have. I blocked their numbers. 2 days later, I came home from the grocery store to find Ethan's truck in my driveway. My front door was ajar. They had a key from years ago, when I trusted them to water my plants. Inside, Ethan and Mia were rifling through my desk, pulling out bank statements. A man I didn't know, in a cheap suit, stood by the kitchen table, scribbling notes. "What the hell is this?" I demanded. Mia spun around, startled but recovering fast. "John, we're worried about you. You're acting erratic, cutting us off." "Mr. Lyle's a lawyer. We're checking your finances to make sure you're okay." "Erratic?" I laughed, bitter. "You mean I stopped paying your bills?" Ethan stepped forward, face red. "Dad, you're not yourself. Mom would have wanted us to take care of you. Don't bring Sarah into this," I snapped. "Get out. Now." The lawyer, Lyle, spoke up, all fake concern. "Mr. Harper, we're considering a conservatorship. Your behavior suggests mental decline." I pointed to the door. "Out, or I call the police." They left, but Mia's parting shot chilled me. "This isn't over, John. We have rights." That night, I couldn't sleep. Conservatorship? They wanted to declare me incompetent to seize my $40,000 savings. I'd seen it happen, friends at the fire station whose parents lost control to greedy kids. I wasn't going down without a fight. First, I went to my bank. Mrs. Carter, the manager who'd known me since my firefighting days, looked horrified when I explained. "John, they tried accessing your account yesterday. Said they were helping." I blocked them. I canceled all joint access, opened a new account at a different bank, and moved my savings, $38,000 now. Total spent on Ethan and Mia, $47,000, my ledger confirmed. $21,600 rent, $5,000 furniture, $3,400 groceries, $7,000 loans, $10,000 funeral. Money I'd never see again. Next, I called my old fire station buddy, Tom, now a security installer. For $500, he set up cameras around my house, front door, living room, driveway. They linked to my phone, recording 24/7. "If they come back, John," Tom said, "you'll have proof." Sure enough, Ethan tried again a week later. My cameras caught him banging on my door at 2 a.m., slurring, "Dad, open up. We need to talk about the money." Another clip showed Mia leaving a note, "John, we're selling your old tools to cover rent. You don't need them." My tools, Sarah's gift to me, worth $2,000. I called the police. They retrieved my property, warning Ethan to stay away. Mia's next move was a letter from Lyle, claiming I was mentally unfit and requesting a conservatorship hearing. They cited my sudden financial cutoff, paranoid cameras, and refusal to communicate. I hired Ms. Linda Brooks, a Boise lawyer specializing in elder law, recommended by Mrs. Carter. Linda reviewed my ledger and footage, shaking her head. "John, this is textbook elder abuse. They're after your savings. We'll crush them." We filed a countersuit for $20,000 in damages, half the stolen funds, plus emotional distress. Linda subpoenaed Ethan's bank records, uncovering a $10,000 boat purchase and $5,000 in credit card payments, all tied to my pension transfers. She also found a forged loan document Ethan had tried to file, claiming I owed him $20,000 from my savings. The hearing was in a Boise courthouse, a gray building smelling of dust and coffee. Ethan and Mia sat across the room, Mia in a black dress like she was mourning, Ethan avoiding my gaze. Their lawyer, Lyle, painted me as a senile old man. Mr. Harper's erratic behavior, cutting off his son, installing cameras, shows mental decline. He needs oversight. Linda was a bulldog. "This is financial abuse, Your Honor." John Harper gave his son $47,000 over 4 years, including $10,000 for a funeral he was excluded from. When he stopped, they retaliated with this baseless suit. She played the camera footage, Ethan demanding money, Mia admitting, "John's savings are ours once he's gone." The judge, a grizzled veteran named Miller, leaned forward, eyes narrowing. I took the stand, voice steady. "I'm a retired firefighter, Your Honor. I've managed budgets, saved lives, raised a son alone. I gave Ethan and Mia $47,000 rent, furniture, their lifestyle. They repaid me by locking me out of a funeral I paid for, then demanding more. I'm not crazy. I'm done being used." Lyle tried to trip me up. "Mr. Harper, isn't it true you've forgotten bills lately?" "No," I said. "My ledger's accurate to the cent, check it." The courtroom chuckled. Linda called Mrs. Carter, who testified to my financial competence, and Tom, who explained the cameras were for protection, not paranoia. Ethan's forged loan documents sealed it, Lyle had no defense. The judge ruled in my favor after an hour's deliberation. Mr. Harper is fully competent. The plaintiff's actions suggest financial exploitation. I award $20,000 in damages and a permanent restraining order. Ethan's face crumpled, Mia stormed out. I wasn't done. With Linda's help, I edited the camera footage into a 12-minute YouTube video. My son stole $47,000, hidden camera exposes elder abuse. I blurred faces but kept their voices, Mia's VIP's line, Ethan's drunken demands. I uploaded it anonymously, with a description, "This is what greed does to family. Support elder abuse charities." Within days, it had 300,000 views. A Reddit user posted it to r/justice served, it hit 1 million. Local news ran a segment, "Boise veteran fights family fraud," sparking a state investigation into elder abuse cases. The fallout was swift. Mia's family, shamed by the video, cut her off after learning she'd lied about my senility. Ethan lost his job when his boss, a fire station friend of mine, saw the footage. They sold their boat to cover legal fees, moving to a cheap rental. With the $20,000 and my pension secure, I bought my dream fishing cabin on the Payette River, $60,000, cozy with a wood stove. My savings, now $58,000, were safe in my new account. I cut contact with Ethan, his one email, "Dad, I'm sorry," went unanswered. Some bridges burned for good. The cabin became a hub for my new community, retirees and veterans I met through a senior support group I started with Tom. We fish, share stories, help others avoid what I went through. The YouTube video hit 2.5 million views, and I donated the $6,000 ad revenue to AARP's Elder Abuse Fund. At night, I sit by the river, rod in hand, the stars brighter than Boise city lights. I'm 68, a survivor of fires and betrayal, but I'm free. Family isn't blood, it's the people who see you, not your wallet. If this story moved you, donate to elder abuse charities. What would you do in my place? Comment below, I'm listening. Subscribe for more stories of fighting back. Until next time, stay strong.